Hello. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing well. Well, today I do have a great show for you. My guest is just a little bit late, a little technical difficulties, but he will be on. Let me tell you, this is what it's all about. Entrepreneurship at its finest. Things happen, you got to adjust. But I do have a good one for you today. I know you guys have seen the flyer, and he should be here on shortly. I'm just letting him know. He's literally getting on now. He had a few little technical difficulties, but I do want to say hello to you guys. And we do have a good one in store for you today. Today on the Unapologetic Entrepreneur, we should be having Mr. Frank DeLeo. Okay, we're going to talk about fight or flight. Ego is not required. This is a very, very big topic because a lot of people think that when you make it to a certain level in business, you tend to allow your ego to grow. And sometimes the ego is so big, people's head can't fit through a door. So I can't wait to have this conversation to enlighten us, so he can enlighten us. Just to give you a brief history on this gentleman, he used to be a forklift driver. That's right, a forklift driver. So this is a man that's gone from a forklift driver to a millionaire. Okay. And, inquiring minds want to know how. So let me just take this moment to tell you that. And let me intro it as we wait for him. See, in entrepreneurship, there comes a moment where every entrepreneur's journey, where the grind just stops being sexy. A lot of people say, "Oh, I'm my own boss. I'm my own boss." It comes to a point that being your own boss is hard. Everything just stops being sexy when motivation just fades. See, motivation is like gas in a car. You can fill up your tank with gas, but the more you drive that car, you eventually run out of gas. So the motivation just starts to fade, where the applause dies down. Not many people are there applauding and clapping for you, and all you're left with is one question. And there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there right now. There's a lot of entrepreneurs right there, and there's a few of them on this line right now. Let me see who's on the line to see if they agree with this. Let's see, where are they? Who are you? Where are you? Okay, we got Francine. We got a Limitless saying hello. Good evening. Good evening. Remember, if you guys do not speak or do not write a comment, I cannot see it and post it up. But so please remember, there's an interactive podcast. You're allowed to ask questions when our guest gets on, which he's booting up right now. When our guest comes on, feel free to ask questions. Oh, look at that. Our guest is here. You can't speak yet. You're too much excitement. You can't speak yet because I was introing you. So I'm going to have to I'm gonna have to do what some of the agents, or I should say, my fellow teammates know that I do a lot. Bring it back, come rewind. How you doing, sir? How you doing, Mr. Frank DeLeo is here. I'm gonna have to bring it back, come rewind. I'm gonna have to start from the beginning because we were just talking about how you were a forklift driver, and this is gonna be a great show. So I'm gonna start all over. It's great for the people to see. So I want you guys to understand that today, the man that we're going to talk to right here, and on the Unapologetic Entrepreneur, we're going to talk about Frank DeLeo, fight or flight, ego not required. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to give you a talk about this little intro, and people are saying hello to you already. They're already chiming on. So let me start by saying what I was saying before. And you could agree or disagree with me, Mr. DeLeo, but there comes a time in every entrepreneur's life where the grind just stops being sexy. The motivation just fades. The applause just calms down. No, there's not that much clapping. And every entrepreneur comes to one thing in their mind: fight or flight. This is not about the Instagram version of people. A lot of people on Instagram are always flossing, taking rental cars and taking pictures in front of them. And, it's not about the highlight reel, right? All the good, he did it. He did a great month. And then next month, it dies down. This is about the real thing that we're going to be talking about today. The moment when your ego starts screaming, your bank account is testing you. All right. Your family and friends are all watching you, and all your systems that you have are demanding submission. This is what we're talking about on today's episode. We're not going to talk hype, Frank. We're not going to talk hype. Okay. You can get hype if you want to, but we're going to talk about pressure. We're going to talk about your identity. It's about understanding that ego will fuel your failure or force your growth. My guest today is none other than Mr. Frank DeLeo here. And just to tell you a little something about this crazy man that can't wait to explode because he had technical difficulties. He went from a forklift driver to a licensed professional in I believe in 2000, and now he's coaching over 2,000 agents. And you can correct any of this. He has over 120 executive directors. Do you know how many people that he's leading and how many teams he's leading? This is phenomenal. He went from that to becoming the first ever executive partner, $1 million earner in FML. Woo! $1 million earner right here. But behind every title that he's had, there's been a cost. Behind every level, there's been something he had to let go. And behind every legacy, there's a decision that he had to choose for his growth over his pride. So today, man, I want to thank you for gracing my platform over here. I'm the unapologetic entrepreneur, Mr. Frank DeLeo. Welcome. I hope I did it justice to talk about your past there.
Mr. Leo Garcia, what a flipping intro, brother. That was incredible. You've done this before, haven't you? Right?
Yeah, a few times.
A couple times, bro. That was fantastic, man. That was fantastic. I apologize if my voice sounds a little bit hoarse. I just have been getting over crappy illness last few weeks, but we're good, man. We're good. I'm excited, and bro, what an intro. Thank you. Are you like in my head? By the way, like when
why am I saying that? What are we talking about?
Are you in my head? Just talking about when the pressure's on, and talking about when your systems are demanding of you, you're questioning things. Like everything you said, I'm sitting here going, "What are you in my head?" Right? So yeah, man. Thank you for the intro. I'm excited to share with you today, and I'm here to serve as best as I can, brother. And
I'm glad.
And I love
questions. We got questions. Picking that brain today.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Let me give you the premise of the show if you've never spoken to Jamie before. Well, it's open. I have questions that I'm ready to ask always, but we allow the audience to come in. And you got some people, Mark, already saying, "Yo, Frank." Frank and Leo's a great way to
sounds like hey, Leo and Frank DeLeo. So today
Woo!
I belong to you today, baby. I belong to
Hey,
you.
I'll do it. Then Takira saying good evening, everyone. So we're gonna be popping up questions, but I always start it off because they're percolating right there. But listen, you've made me cry. I got a sensitive side, so you made me cry when I seen you on stage talking about your story. No matter how many times I hear it, never gets old. So I'm gonna start us off with something easy. You went from being a forklift driver to the first $1 million earner executive partner. What mindset shift had to happen? And what part of your old identity did you have to kill in order to scale?
That
Uh-oh.
you're starting off. You're like starting off up here. You ain't working up to it. Normally it's like let's work up to it a little bit. No, you went right for it, man. We're gonna open with a close today. That's what we're doing. We're opening with a close, right? So
Let's
so
go.
so Leo, I'll share a couple things with you. I'm gonna share some and listen from out. You know this about me. I don't pull punches. I don't I don't bring stage talk to the stage, so I ain't gonna bring it here, right? And I call it the way it is. I always said that I'm gonna build my business in a way, Leo, where I'm gonna be the guy at the front of the room that tells you the stuff that the people from the front of the room at all the other companies don't want you to hear. I'm the guy who's gonna tell you that. Okay. So Leo, number one, in regards to your question, bro, I realized, and I had to have a serious gut check with myself. I realized that if I really truly wanted to live the life that I dreamt of, that lived inside of me, that there was this passion inside of me, I realized I had to get off my ass and go to work. That was the very first thing. Leo, I remember in my old company, I was at an event. I was making maybe like 30, 40 grand a year. Okay. Wasn't sure. I'm not even sure if I was married yet or engaged. I don't remember, but it was early on. And I remember one of the keynote speakers, this guy was making $500,000 a year at the old company. He was a double stud. And I remember I went up to him, or he was going to the bathroom and I was coming out of the bathroom and I stopped him and his name was Jason. And I said, Jason, hey, great talk, man, great talk. Can I ask you a question? He's like, sure. I'm like, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, but it's still ain't happening for me. Like, what do I do? Right. And he was like, well, man, you gotta keep grinding it out. You gotta do the numbers. You gotta hit the, track your numbers, right? And I'm like, no, but I'm doing that. I know my numbers, but it's still not working out. Okay, well, you got to work on your skill set. You got to work on you, and you got to get, how are you? I'm doing that. I'm working on my skill set every day. It's still not happening. And Leo, this conversation happened like 4 or 5 questions in a row. Finally, he stopped. He looked at me and he goes, stop lying to yourself. You ain't doing none of the stuff you're talking about. He goes, because if you were, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And he walked away. And I was like, I was like, what an a-hole. I was like, but it's not until you grow up and you mature a little bit that you look back and say, oh my gosh, he was right. He was right. Okay. Folks, number one, you gotta take a look at your work ethic. Forget about old identity. Forget about all that crap. You gotta look at your work ethic. Are you putting in the time every day doing the vital activities, looking at the vital functions of your business that push the needle? Stop lying to yourself. Showing up to this podcast is not work. Showing up to my Wednesday morning coaching call is not work, right? Showing up to Jamie's call is not work. Work, real simple, real work is you got to get a name, you got to call a name, and you got to meet a name. And you've got to do that a ton every single day. And you got to be consistent day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, until you lay out the foundation. That's number one. Get real about the work you're doing. Just say no to fake BS work. You got me? Number two, I'll tell you the second thing. The second thing is this. And this is going to piss off some people, Leo. It's going to.
Let's go. Okay. We want to do that. Let's go.
Forget about who or what you have to let go of your old identity. For a bunch of us, Leo, A bunch of us, we're cut from the same cloth. A bunch of us, we come from the same fabric, the same past. We come from the same places. You know what some of us have to do? Forget about letting go of the old identity. Some of you have to tap into the old identity. Some of you have to look back to your mama, your papa, look back to your grandparents, look back to the work that they did so we could have a better life. Forget about shedding the old identity. Go tap into it. See, my mom and dad immigrated to Canada from Italy. I learned a lot about my dad's story, which I didn't learn about until like my late 20s. And it blew me away, Leo. My dad at 18 years old didn't know a single person, immigrates to Toronto, Canada, didn't know the language, didn't know the rules, didn't know a single person. And this guy starts a family, starts a life here, literally breaks his body. Literally, my father became disabled on the job in construction, broke his body so we could have a better life. And then I'm going to cry because I'm afraid to call somebody. What did your grandparents have to go through? What did your grandparents have to go through, Leo, for you to be where you are today, right? We need to go back. We need to look at what our ancestors, what our family did for us to be here today. We need to flip and honor that. We need to honor what they did. I don't want my dad passed away 3.5 years ago. And I don't ever want my dad. He's looking up, looking down, not looking up. He's looking down from above. Again. I hope he's not looking up. He's looking down from above. But I don't ever want my dad to ever think that his sacrifices and my mom and her sacrifices for them coming here for a new life, those sacrifices, I don't want them to ever think they went in vain. They were in vain. I don't ever want that. So you know what, bro? Some of us need to pick up our big boy pants and our big girl pants and wake up a little bit and really stop and think, what are you complaining about? What problems do we have? Let's be honest. Come on. We got the greatest opportunity in the world, and all we got to do is get out of our own way and pick up the phone and make some phone calls. You imagine? My dad literally broke his body in construction. Right? I'm sitting here going, somebody said no to me.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Come on. You weren't joking when I said I started with the finale question. Look at that. He brought it. We already got questions coming in from the crowd. That was good, man. We got to get out of our way. I don't think we tap into what our ancestors did to just get to this country and start a life, period. I've never heard it in that manner. We got Natasha Rodriguez here saying, from forklift driver to the first $1 million earner and EP. What was the first reason why you decided to take this opportunity serious? Why did you take this opportunity serious? Your opportunity. Please tell us what you do. This is not all about insurance, just so you know. This is all about entrepreneurship. You just talk about your profession. What made you take this serious?
So that's a great question, because that actually it connects to the third thing I wanted to share about your first question. So it's going to answer both questions, okay? But to go back to your first question for a quick second, and this will connect to Natasha's question, right? So number one, I said, folks, stop lying to yourself about the work that you really do. Wake up, look in the mirror, and actually get to work. Number one. Number two, tap into your past and tap into and be grateful and thankful for the sacrifices that your family and ancestors, generations before you made, so you literally could be sitting where you are. That's number two. Tap into the past. And number three, which connects to Natasha, guys, you need, and I know this has been said, you've all heard this a gazillion times, but you need a real why. You need a why. You need something in your heart that is going to get you to get off your butt when you're laying down doing what you're not supposed to be doing. And all of a sudden you think about your why and you're like, I got to get to work. I got to get my ass up. I got to go to work. You need that why. And look, Natasha, couple things, right? Couple things. So when I came to Experior, which by the way, Leo, your timing of this is incredible, because February is going to be my 10th year anniversary that I came to Experior. February, Okay. In a couple of weeks will be our 10-year anniversary. So Natasha, number one, I'm going to share this with you. Okay. I do that a lot. But Jamie laughs because he's always like, Frank Sullivan's like, number one. And then number two, and number three. And Jamie laughs because he goes, Frank does it so well because he always remembers what number he's at. Jamie's all like, what number were we at? I forgot. Right. So I do that a lot, guys. But here's number one, Natasha, and connecting to your first question as well. Okay. I'm old school. Family is everything. And again, this is not for everybody. You tap into what you need to tap into for you. This is for me. You understand? I ain't going to be apologetic about this because this is me, my story. But I'm old school. Yolanda and I, my wife, we knew exactly what we both wanted when we first met, and we had the same values. We had the same a vision for the future. We everything we wanted was the same. So for me, I'm old school, Leo. So number one, what got me serious about this business when I came to Experior 10 years ago was that I'm the man of my family. I'm responsible for my family, period, full stop. Okay. Yolanda and I both wanted for her to take care of our babies when we had our girls. My daughters are 16, and 15. And she's a retired teacher. She was a teacher for 20 plus years. And about 12 years ago, I was finally able to retire her. So she's been able to take care of our family while I go and do what I do to take care of them. But guys, for me, I'm old school. And one of the driving factors where I said I want to live a great life is because I want to live a great life for my wife and my children. I want us to have a great life. And that's always been a driving factor for me. And it still is today, man. It still is today. So that was the first thing. The second thing, okay? And guys, listen to me carefully. And if you understand what I'm about to say and you use it for good, it's going to serve you. If you don't understand what I'm going to say and you think this is negative, well, keep making excuses. That's your choice. Okay. Ego is good. Ego is good. A good, healthy ego is what you need to set out there to go do something great. You understand? Let me translate that for a second. First off, ego in Latin means io. In Italian, it's io, which means me. Ego just means me. It means me. That's all it means. I, me. And here's the deal, Leo. Listen to me, okay? You can't set out there with a dream and a desire to build a business that pays you millions of dollars a year and changes your clients' lives and changes your team's lives. You can't go out there and do that without a good, strong, healthy ego. Because you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that you're capable of doing that, right? Now, egotistical or an egomaniac, that's bad. That's when you think you're better than others. That's not what having a good, healthy ego means. What having a good, healthy ego means is that you believe you're capable, you believe you have it in you, and you want to go out there and show the world. I want to go out there and make a difference. You got to have ego to want to go out there and make a difference in the world. You understand me? I'm not saying arrogance. I'm not saying egotistical. I'm not saying you're better than anybody else. You're not. You go do that with this humble servant attitude. Boom. The world will deliver for you. I promise. Because, Leo, here's the deal. When I came to Experior 10 years ago, before I made my decision, I was with my previous company for 15 years. I was only making 6 figures a year. I was only making like 150, 160 grand a year at my previous company after 15 years. But when Experior presented itself and we had nothing, Leo, we had nothing. No, we didn't have any rings. We didn't have any brochures. We didn't have a back office. We didn't have a scoreboard. We had nothing. Jamie and Leanne told me that they had 4 staff. And we were like, okay, 130, 150 licensed agents. Company's 2 years old. They got 4 staff. I'm like, that's pretty good. What they didn't tell me was that they counted both themselves as 2 of the staff. So they only really had 2. What they didn't tell me was that Jamie was the flipping courier department and he was the contracting department and Leanne was the flipping commission department and the compliance department. They didn't tell us any of this stuff. Okay? You see, none of that mattered to me because I knew who they were as people. So that was important to me because they had to have a good set of ego, okay, to set out to accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. But for me, Leo, all I kept saying to myself as Jamie's trying to recruit me and he's trying to convince me to join, and I was in, like, I knew almost right from the beginning I was joining, but I needed to do my due diligence. But here's the deal. You ready? Here's what it is. Here's the $1 million moment. All I kept saying to myself was this: do I have what it takes to build a company? Do I have what it takes to help put this company on the map? Do I have what it takes to become Jamie's partner? And I told Jamie in March 2016, outside my office, after I joined, we had a big BTO night. We had like over 100 people there. It was 11:30. Him and I were locking up my office. We were the last two to leave. And I grabbed him and I said, Jamie, I promise you, you will never have a partner in this business the way you're going to have me as your partner. I'm running this thing as if it's mine too. I'm staking my future on this thing because, Leo, I needed to see if I had what it took to build something, do something special from the ground up. And that was it, brother. That was it. Those two things, my family, my children, my why, and the life I wanted to deliver for them. And me. Too many people today are afraid to put their butt on the line because society is going to make you feel like, oh, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Oh, you're a big shot. You're going to go out there and do it. Yes, I'm going to. I need to go and see if I can do that. And I needed to do that, Leo, for myself. So it was that I remember, do I have what it takes?
Wow.
3 times, do I have what it takes?
Gotta take off my hat, boy. You got me hot in here. Woo! You got Mark. You got Mark chiming in. Mr. Tirolia's coming in.
And here's my point, Leo. More people, whether it's Natasha, whether it's Takiria, Francine, Leo, Mark, Frank, I don't care. More people need to really look inside them. Forget about all the external factors and the external fears. They need to look inside them and they need to ask themselves, do I have what it takes? Number one. And number two, do I have the balls to find out?
I should have brought out my comfort chair. Mr. Mark Tirolia comes out here and says, if you had to isolate one driver from your first 10 years sales, culture, and marketing, which one actually got you to your first million faster?
Easy.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Culture. Culture. One of my old mentors from the old company, the great Art Williams, has a program he put out years and years ago, and it's called Nobody Wants a Boss, Everybody Wants a Coach. Now, I played sports my whole life, and I was the kind of team player where I was a team player, but I was also the one that if the coach kicked my ass, I would be like, all right. Yeah, it would hurt, but I'd be like, you see what I'm going to bring next game. You're going to see what's going to happen, right? And I was that type of player. I played soccer mostly, and I was that player. And there'd be games where like the coach would be like, what happened to this guy? Where'd you come from? I'm like, piss me off again like you did last game, and this is what happens. He was like, for me, culture is everything. Culture is everything, right? People want to be part of an environment where they're coached, where they're supported, they're helped, they're encouraged. Somebody actually believes in them. Somebody tells them you have what it takes, right? That the culture is everything. And that, to me, Leo, connects with mindset. You know me, I'm the big mindset coach. For me, my philosophy is mindset over skill set, but skill set's still important. That's our philosophy. So culture connects with the mindset. When I recruit people, Mark, I always say to them, before you join me, I need you to come out on a couple of my trainings, and I need you to check out our culture. I need you to check out our vibe on our Zoom trainings. And if you like what you hear and see, then join us. If you don't and you don't think it's for you, then it ain't gonna work. I can give you all the sales training in the world. I can give you all the marketing scripts, product, all that crap. But if your mindset, your attitude, your culture, if it doesn't fit, you're gone. You're gone. You're gone. So for me, it was culture, mindset. I wanted this attitude where I wanted to be people's coach. I want to be the coach. And remember something, guys. Here's a key. Here's a key. Listen, okay? For the players on the call and for the coaches on the call, okay? Listen to me. Teaching, sales, marketing, teaching happens before action is taken. Coaching happens after you take action. That's the difference. That's why I say culture, coaching, mindset, environment, that's everything. That's everything. So if you're a player on this call and you're sitting there, you're like, I want to be coached. I want to be coached. Go take action. Get out there, go screw up, and then come back to your coach and be like, coach me, correct me, help me, right? And if you're a coach, stop thinking that teaching, meetings, teaching, sales, product, skills, scripts. Stop thinking you're making progress with that part. That's only one side of the same coin. The other side is they got to go do something, then you come back and coach. And that's all part of the culture.
Oh, man. I'm telling you right now, you're going to have to come back because we're going to go through these questions. Listen, don't make me hound you.
First off, I will only come back, Leo, if Mark Tiroli admits that Jordan's the GOAT. Only I'll come back.
I'm not even going to do that. Oh, man.
I'm just kidding.
That's hilarious.
He was pretty locked into.
Listen, he's about to ask me if he can come on this show right now, but I'm gonna go to the next question.
But I'm here to serve, Leo. I'm here to serve. Anytime you need me, I'm here to serve, brother.
I got you. Do you believe a lack of self-belief is more dangerous than a lack of skill or opportunity? And how has belief played a non-negotiable role in reaching $1 million success?
Wow, you got a lot of smart people here, man. This is great. I love it. So I want you guys to write this down. For those that are listening. The fun is still the GOAT. Oh my gosh. So good. So I want you guys to write this down. This is the creation formula. I'm going to answer that question like this, okay? This is the creation formula in life. This is guaranteed how you create the life you want to live, okay? It's called, the acronym is called IT Be FAR. ITBFAR. IT Be FAR. Okay? IT Be FAR. Here's how the creation process works. I stands for inputs. Okay? So what are you inputting? What are you consuming? What is being said around you? What are you reading? What are you listening to? What are you hearing? What are you writing? What is around you, including people? Okay? Your inputs, everything around you, lead to your thoughts. Leads to how you think, good or bad. Okay? Good or bad. So your thoughts then lead to your beliefs. Okay? And what you believe about yourself, about the world around you, about opportunities, the company, whatever, what you believe dictates your feelings. That's pretty simple. Because here's the deal, guys. Here's the deal. Your feelings and how you feel at any given time, that's the light post. That's the alarm bell. Because how you feel means something's wrong with how you think. If it's negative, if you're feeling negative, something's wrong with how you think. Something's wrong with what your beliefs. Something's wrong with the inputs. If you're in a negative feeling, something's wrong. And how you feel. But if you're positive, if you're feeling good, that means your belief is good. You're strong, get the right thoughts, the right inputs. But how you feel leads to your actions. And your actions lead to your results. Let me share something really important, Leo. Guys, listen to me, okay? This is how you become a professional. This is how you get your way up to becoming, because when you master the creation process and you can control and master your beliefs and your feelings, right? Regardless of inputs, regardless of thoughts, you know what your beliefs are, you know how you feel, and you can then go perform. You can then turn it on anytime you want. We're talking about Jordan. We're talking about LeBron. They were professionals, right? It didn't matter. It didn't matter how they felt an hour or two before the game. Somebody could have pissed them off, which they probably did get pissed off, but they knew game time. You got to put your game face on. It's time to what? It's time to perform. That's how a professional works. If you're an amateur and somebody cut you off and there was road rage on the road, right? And it's game time now, and you don't know how to shake that off, you can't perform. You're done. You're finished. That's being an amateur, right? So professionals know how to control their beliefs, and that leads to how they feel, and they can turn that on and off, and they can perform. You got to get there. It be far is the creation process. Now, here's the deal. Listen to me. Leo, here's why most self-help programs, most books, most courses, this is why they fail. You ready? Because they focus on the action. Do this, 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 do this. And that just lasts for a period of time because they haven't gone back and changed the root cause. And the root cause is this. What are your inputs? Because your inputs lead to your thoughts. What are you thinking? Your thinking, your dominant, constant thoughts lead to your beliefs. And what you believe about yourself and your opportunity in the world around you leads to your feelings. And how you feel leads to your actions. And those actions then lead to the results and the life you get to live. So our self-belief is believing yourself important. It's everything. It's the core of the creation process because it's self-belief and feelings together right in the middle that dictate everything. They dictate everything. So folks, if you're sitting there and you're wondering, well, I don't believe in myself. I don't have a lot of belief in myself. Or, I'm not sure about Experior. Well, here's the problem. Number one, question your inputs. Question your inputs. When you're talking about yourself and your self-belief, how do you talk to yourself? What do? You catch yourself? Do you catch yourself going, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe I did that again. Oh, do you catch, hear me carefully. Do you catch the people around you throwing shots at you and you just let them do it? Right? And those inputs then lead to how you think, and then quietly in your head, you're like, yeah, I'm always screwing up, or they're always so hard on me, assholes, right? Sorry. Okay. And all of a sudden,
I'm sorry, unapologetic, baby.
Okay, good. Thank you. And then you're thinking these things, then you have this belief that you start to believe I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, it's just my life, and look all around, and blah, blah, blah. And that belief leads to what? To feeling frustrated, hopeless, angry, right? You feel like this, and you don't take actions. Do you know any angry, hopeless people that go on to win? There's no such thing. Guys, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how powerful this is. The beginning of COVID. Thank you, Eric. The beginning of COVID, your inputs lead to your thoughts lead to your beliefs lead to your feelings lead to your actions lead to results. The beginning of COVID, Leo, my wife, thank God, I got the right people around me. Because after the first 4 or 5 months of COVID, she one day says to me, she's like, can I tell you something? I'm like, sure. You might want to stop with the whole arguing COVID stuff on Facebook. And it doesn't matter what side you sit on, pro this, anti that, it didn't matter. I was getting pulled in to these nasty arguments online when COVID, like 2020, middle of 2020, with some of my closest friends and business partners. And my wife's like, you're really negative. She's like, you're negative all the time. She's like, you are so, what's the word? Skeptical all the time. She's like, I think you should drop it. It's not serving us and our future. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right. And I immediately stopped any type of debating online, even in public, even with friends or family or whatever, very little, very, very little did I get engaged, because I could stop and think to myself, this is going to affect how I think, and how I think is going to affect my beliefs. And if I start going down that rabbit hole that, oh, there's a conspiracy and they're out to get us and they're trying to kill us, or they're trying to do this or they're trying to do that, how if I'm going to think that way, how am I going to feel great about then calling you up and go, Leo, I got an opportunity of a lifetime for you. Let's go change our lives. At the same time, while I'm thinking and believing that they're trying to kill us and murder us and this and that and all these conspiracies are going on. How can both those things live together in your brain? They can't, folks. You want to start believing in yourself more? Change your flipping thoughts, change your flipping inputs, and watch what starts to happen.
You're just dropping it today, boy. Oh, these questions got. Oh, I love it. Yeah, you feel good right now. Yeah, it was worth the reboot.
I had a couple of espressos earlier, and I'm like, I'm fired up. Let's go.
All right, here we go. Every entrepreneur hits a breaking point. What was the closest flight moment in Experior, and what stopped you from walking away?
Okay. That's easy. So you guys sure you're not in my head? Did you guys go into
This is
head?
one of my questions. I tend to live rent-free in Mark's head sometimes, so I'll probably live in yours too.
Yeah. So Leo, I'm not going to mention names to protect the innocent, but second year in the business, second year, I'm pretty sure it was second, maybe third year. There was a really serious falling out with another corporate leader here at Experior. Okay. I was really, really serious, and things were said, and they affected me, and I said things, and the other person said things, and all of a sudden, I was beginning to question whether I was valued at this company or not. And I seriously, second or third year in, and I seriously began to contemplate, I think I have to leave. Because if I'm not going to be valued here as the role that I chose to take and publicly declared to Jamie, and it wasn't with Jamie, by the way, with Jamie, if I wasn't going to be valued for the sacrifices I was making to get this company where I wanted to get it to, then I wasn't going to stay here anymore. And I was contemplating it. It was a very, very stressful time in my life. Again, thoughts and beliefs lead to feelings, and I was very stressed over it. And I spoke with a couple of my mentors and people that I look up to in and outside the business, because you got to have the right people around you. That's part of your inputs. Got to have the right people around you. And it was really 50-50. It was really 50-50 which way it was going to go. And thank God, after a few weeks, level heads prevailed, and a meeting was called, and everything was explained, both from me explaining things, the other person explaining things face to face over dinner with other people there, just so that it didn't go the wrong way. And it changed everything. We took the high road with maturity. And what ended up happening was it actually strengthened that relationship that I have with this person now from corporate. It actually strengthened. I have so much love and respect and admiration for this person. And I thank God, because that going through that moment was really important, because it elevated our relationship. It really did. But man, it could have gone the other way. And Leo, that's the importance of having the right people around you. That's the importance of seeking counsel in the right places. Okay. There's some people, and let me, I'm going to give you guys a really controversial example. And Leo, I don't know your personal situation. I don't know Mark's, I don't know anybody's personal situation. So I'm not talking about anybody here. So please don't take this personally, because I don't want people to get angry with what I'm about to say. But let me give you a perfect example about having the right people around you and seeking counsel in the right places. Okay. I once said this on one of my trainings, and I pissed off a lot of people, and I got a lot of negative feedback. Okay. But that's okay, because I still stand by it. Guys, if I want to learn and seek counsel on how to have a successful marriage, I'm not going to go speak to people who are divorced. And I had a lot of people, they took it personally. They got offended. Well, I'm divorced. Well, you're saying something's wrong with me. I'm saying, no, you're not, I love you. I said, I'm not going to talk to you about how to have a successful marriage because you don't have one. But you could learn a lot from me on how to not get a divorce. I'm like, you can't think that way. Your brain doesn't work that way. You can't think playing defense and going, I'm going to go talk to everybody who got divorced so I can learn how to not end up divorced. Guaranteed you end up divorced. Guaranteed. Okay? So you got to seek the right counsel. Folks, live, speak, and act in the present I am. The present I am. That's how you have to live. So therefore, you need to go seek counsel from those that can tell you how to do something. The positive side of things. The present I am. I want to be $1 million earner. I need to hang out, roll with people that are $1 million earners. I'm not going to learn how to have a successful business and income by going and talk to people who are broke. And they're going to go, I'll tell you how to stay away from being broke, man. I'll tell you how to do that. How is that going to help you? How is that going to help you? Right? So to your question, brother, I thank God I had the right people around me. Because when we hit that moment where, oh my gosh, I was thinking about leaving, it was having the right people around me that allowed me to relax, calm down, think, and move forward. And I'll say this last thing, move forward appropriately. I'll say this last thing, folks, remember something. I subscribe to the 24-hour rule. Hey, listen, I'm an old school, hot-blooded Italian, okay? Okay, right? And Leo, we're the same. We got energy and charisma, and you and I might be talking with each other, and somebody from a distance will be like, oh, are they fighting? No, we're actually we're hugging, right? So, but subscribe to this, folks. Subscribe to this, okay? Subscribe to the 24-hour rule. Somebody pisses you off, don't react. You want to hammer them. You want to get them back. Subscribe to the 24-hour rule. Don't do nothing for 24 hours. Let your emotions calm down. Let them recede. Let your emotions come down. Because what happens is when emotions are high, intelligence is low. And if you let your emotions drop, then your intelligence can come back up and you can use your brain and navigate properly. Hope that helped answer your question.
Oh, that did. And Coach said, hey, Frank, we love pissing people off and we don't get offended, brother. See, also correctly, ETA. They got to have ETA. You got people laughing here. We got some questions. Man, you're deep, man. There's going to be a lot of little excerpts I got to take out of this. You're really putting it on. Let's see. I got another question for you. Let's see if we could go a little easier for you, man. Let's see. You're coached over 2,000 agents plus 120 executive directors. Oh my God, that's a whole lot of personalities. What's the most painful leadership decision you've made that helped the business grow but personally hurt you? I'm sorry, I thought this would be easier.
I'm going to send you a bill when we're done, Leo. No, just either that or I'm sending you my therapy bill, man. We're bringing up some stuff. No, I'm just kidding. Again, man, great question. Really easy answer. What do you value more? Do you value money or do you value culture? I had someone in my office, and again, this is not about gossip, okay? I don't want people messaging me after going, who was it? Was it this person? Please don't do that, okay? But I had somebody in my office that, was really, really great at the business, high income earner, okay? And I was friends with, like close with, came over to my house, knew my family. And unfortunately, things were said, things continued to get said and were coming back to me and being reported to me. And it hurt. It hurt and it hurt and it hurt. It hurt. I'm a human being too, guys. I'm not a robot. Sure, I might be able to have some clarity in my thinking with my experience and the emotions and stuff, but we still get hurt. I'm not someone who ever walks around and pretends like nobody can hurt me. I get hurt. I have insecurities. I have emotions. I get hurt. So I was hurt. And Leo, I had to remove that person from my office. I'm like, you have to get out. You're out. You're out of the office. You're out of the hierarchy. You're not welcome to the trainings. You're not welcome to anything anymore. I do not trust you. And you're done. You're out. It hurt because this person was close. It hurt. But I thank God every day I did it, because the peace that came back in my life, the stress levels that dropped, I would have done it 100 times over. And I don't care how much money they make. Nobody in my business, nobody, I don't care how much money they make, will ever have the power to control the culture in my office and in my team. And if they become a cancer, just like cancers in our body, you've got to cut it out. You've got to remove it. And if that means you lose an arm, you lose a leg, you lose a body part to get rid of the cancer, then you're going to have to do that. You have to do that, because you can't value money over culture. Because if you do, when the cancer spreads and you can't control it anymore, not only have you lost the culture, but you lose the money too.
Takira said that you're pastoring to her today. She said, I needed this today. I feel like Pastor Frank is speaking directly to me.
So some of you might know David Longmore. David Longmore is one of my EDs. He's direct to me. And sometimes when I get going, he starts throwing out the amens on my trainings. And he's all like, no. He's like, no, seriously, Frank, seriously. You know you can come to my church and you can be a pastor. Like, he always says it to me all the time. I love him. I love him. I'm honored by hearing that.
We got some here. Let me see. Let's see if we got anything in the chat first before. This one came out first. A lot of people can sell, but few can scale. What's harder, being a top producer or letting go control to build leaders who might surpass you? This is interesting given your story.
Great question.
I did my research.
Which part of the story?
How you surpass. But go ahead, answer your question.
No, hey, listen, he loves it.
I know he does. That's my man. He was on the show.
Moral, my upline, my best friend. I would not be in business today. I would not have the life I have today if it wasn't for his mentorship and friendship. He wasn't Leo, the coach that kicked my ass like I wanted, like I've become for others. He wasn't that guy. Okay. And when I needed it in my life, I wish he was at times, but he's just not his role. But he's the heart. He's all heart. He's the guy that when you fall down, he's the guy that comes over and picks you up, helps clean you off. He's the guy that'll bandage up your knee and then put you in the wheelchair and wheel you off and say, let me buy you dinner. Let's go. Let's talk. He's that guy. Okay. And I needed him in my life, but yeah, I beat him to $1 million by like 2 weeks. Okay?
2 weeks.
And trust me, he absolutely flipping loved it, because sometimes, and we have this type of relationship, and he has no arrogance or pride, and he doesn't have any of that stuff. Okay. But we'll joke sometimes and by the way, him and I scrap and fight all the time. We do. And sometimes just to make him laugh, I'll just shake my head. Sometimes I'll look at him. I'm like, man, I wish I had a Frank DeLeo to override. We just laugh our heads off. So we have that working relationship. And I'll say this, I'm so proud and thankful to say, Leo, and you've been in business, like you've got experience, you've been around. How many people could say that they've been in business with their upline as a best friend and brother for 26 years? How many people can say that? Okay. So the lesson I learned from Mauro, connected to your question, is this: you want to have your people pass you. You want that. I want my people to pass me. Okay. I'm going to make it hard for them, because I'm still in the game. And I'm still going to keep leading. And as long as I'm staying in the game, I'm going to create what's called this value gap. Okay. I'm going to create a value gap because this goes to your answer. And I'm sorry, I'm going to take a little bit of the long route there, but look, if you want to build leaders, folks, you've got to give them something worth following. Otherwise, how are you going to lead people that don't want to follow you? And if you don't give them something worth following, why would they follow you? Okay. So building great leaders is one thing, and that takes time. That takes time, and that's tough. And by the way, guys, when we're in the people business, you just got to be ready. You're going to have people challenges. It's just congratulations. You have people challenges. There's an old saying in the industry that we would say, no bags, meaning no bags under your eyes, then no base, meaning you have no agency. So no bags, no base. Okay. So building leaders is by far harder to do. Becoming a top producer, I'm going to tell you guys, and please, I'm not trying to diminish or minimize anything that anybody's going through, but it is really easy to become a top producer. If I wasn't the coach and wasn't working on my business, on our systems, working on helping people grow, working on contests, working on our convention, working on incentives. If I wasn't doing the things that I do as a coach on our business, I'm telling you guys right now, I'd be making $500,000 a year on my own pen. Piece cake. Now, it takes time to get there. But it's all about learning a skill set, learning a very black and white skill set. To be a top producer is a black and white skill set. How you talk to people, how you follow up with them, how you ask questions, how you fact find, how you put plans together, how you ask questions, right? How you do follow up, how you nurture that client relationship over time, how you allow yourself to be referable and ask for and get referrals, how you get out there in your community and let yourself be known as a producer. Guys, that is all a black and white skill set that you control how fast you learn that stuff and apply it. Building leaders, it is as gray can get. I didn't have this beard. I didn't have this white hair, Leo, before I had a team. You understand me? Okay? Guys, building leaders is like raising a family. And let me tell you all something. And please forgive me. Please, this is unapologetic, but I've been apologizing a lot. Hey, Leo. Leo, what's easier? Making the babies or raising the babies? Right? You understand me?
Wow, what an analogy. You said it. Nailed it.
What's easier? That's the business, baby. That's the business.
I love it. Ooh.
So spend copious amounts of time working on you, on your thinking, okay? On your mental toughness, on your leadership skills, on your people skills, on your communication skills. But I'll share this one big thing with you, okay? There was a book that I read a long time ago that changed my life, and it was called Wild at Heart from John Eldridge. And it's a Christian-based book for men, okay? Well, any of the men, women, you can read it too, but it's for men. Christian men, it's called Go Read Wild at Heart from John Eldridge. Changed my life. And here's one of the things he says in the book. Listen to me for a second. And then Leo, think about our business. Think about your team. Okay. Here's what he says in the book. He says, the book is a message to, husbands and men and future fathers and existing fathers. And he says, fathers, if you have sons, and I don't want to open up any wounds here. This was a wound for me with my father. Okay. But fathers, they fail their sons because sons want one thing. They want to be told by their fathers that they have what it takes. Boys and sons want to be told by their fathers that the fathers believe in them, are proud of them, and they have what it takes. Daughters want to be told by their fathers that their fathers see them and acknowledge them. And if you think, and I'm not trying to get all controversial here, but if you think about, women that have quote unquote daddy issues, it's because daddy never saw them, never acknowledged them. The book says that fathers with daughters, and I have 3 girls, and they said fathers are never, ever to criticize ever anything about their daughters appearance, looks, feelings, none of that. That's mom's job. Mom's allowed to do that. Fathers are only allowed to say, I love you. I see you. You're beautiful.
Wow.
How does that apply to our business? Leo, how does that apply to our business? It's the same thing. You want to build leaders? You want to build leaders? You got to pour into your team, and you have to learn how to do it and be genuine. It's got to come from your heart. It's got to be genuine. It's got to be, hey, Eric, Takiria, Francine. I'm just looking at the names here on the list. Hey, I believe in you. You have what it takes. You can build this business. You can make 250, $500,000, $1 million a year. I believe in you. I will help you. I will show you. I see what you're doing. I see it. You got this. You can do this. It's the exact same way as raising a family. And Leo, as parents, we can do all the right things, and our kids are still going to drive us absolutely nuts, and we want to throw them out the window. Okay?
It is what it is.
It is. And here's the secret. Here's the key. Just like with our children. As hard as it is, we can't take it personally. You want to become a great leader? You can't. And in this business, you can't take it personally. And I literally the last couple of days had 2 calls with 2 of my leaders that had some challenges with people. And I literally said to them, I go, number one, stop taking it personally. Nothing to do with you. It's what they're going through. Right? And I'm like, did they cross a line with you in any way? Did they cross a line? Was there like abuse, harassment? No, they're just being idiots. They're just have a bad attitude and they're taking it out on you, right? Yeah. Okay. Don't take it personally. Keep doing your job. Pour into them, deliver, create the environment, create the culture, run the meetings, run the trainings. They either come around or they quit. That's it. That's our business. I don't kick people out. I don't transfer people out. I don't fire people. I don't do that. No, you either wake up, smarten up, grow up, and let's move, or you quit. That's the hardest thing in the business is to not take things personally from people, pour into them, love them like we do our children. And as much as our children drive us nuts, you're loving your child no matter what. No matter what, they do the worst things, they get in trouble. And you tell them, listen, you ever get in trouble, you call, I'm going to be there for you. I'm still going to kick your ass after I know you're safe and everything's good because you're in trouble, but you got to call because I'm going to be there for you. I'm never, ever going to, leave you out there. Let's be honest. That's the agreement, right? But I'm going to kick your ass when I'm done. Okay. And that's the unspoken agreement with our family. Guess what? Not much different than with your business, bro. And I'll say this last thing to you. It's so much like a family. Leo, again, one of the abilities that people have to learn and develop as future business leaders is every time you recruit someone. If I recruited Leo, I just recruited you, I just met you, my attitude internally, this is internal. You don't say this out loud. Keep this in your head, the inside words, okay? But I would say to Leo, I'm going to recruit you, Leo, and my attitude is going to be like this. Man, I just found my first $1 million earner. This guy, Leo's going to be a super stud. He's got the energy. He's got everything. I'm so excited. I'm going to pour into you, and you're going to be my first $1 million earner. And at the exact same time, I'm going to say, and he's probably going to quit tomorrow because he's probably ain't tough enough. He's not going to grind it out. He's weak. I got to go get more people. That's how you build this business. If you can develop that mindset, where you be like, I love you, you're going to win, you're going to win big, but you're probably going to quit. I got to go get more people. That's how you win this business. Too many people recruit 1 or 2 or 3 people. Then they get into management. They pour into them. They give them all their time. They train. Nobody does anything. They don't get to coaching. And then when those people quit 2 months later, they got nothing to show for it anymore. And they're like, this business doesn't work. No, it's because you forgot to go and continue to get more people. Don't stop getting more people. Don't stop. Just don't stop. When do you stop? I don't know. When you reach your goals. When you become financially Experience pays me almost $120,000 a month in overrides. And guess what? I ain't stopping yet because I haven't reached my goals yet. I'm not stopping yet. So I don't know. Maybe take that as an example. Follow that.
That measuring stick is wow. All right, lunch on you. But anyway,
Baby, anytime, baby.
I love it. You reached legacy, and look, you started late, so you take. I'm taking some minutes from you, okay? I'm gonna
I'm
finish
here to
this
serve,
one.
brother. You shut her down. You keep her going. I'm
I
all yours,
love it,
brother.
love it. You reach legacy ownership, shareholder status, and historical milestones. All right. What's something about success at the top that nobody warned you about, but every entrepreneur needs to hear? I'm sorry, I'm digging deep here. I need to know.
I'm gonna give you the positive and the negative. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you the good news and the bad news. What do people want to hear first? The good news or the
Give me
bad
the
news?
bad news. Give me the bad news.
Okay, the bad news first. The bad news first. What where are you going?
We're going to sleep over Ariana's house.
How you guys getting there?
Uber.
Okay, love you.
Love you, bye.
Okay, bye, baby. Sorry, bro. Sorry.
You see the parent thing? Wait. Didn't you say the book said you're only not allowed to say I love you? You look, you're beautiful. You just proved it right there.
So let's see. I was like, where are you going? How you getting there? And I love you. And be good. I'll kick your ass. Here. No, but come say hi to Leo. This is Leo. He's a stud. I'm on a podcast right now with a bunch of people. This is my youngest daughter, Annalise.
Hello,
Okay.
how you doing?
This is my little baby. And I was just telling Leo that, I love you. And I want to know where you guys are at all times. And I will kick your ass when you step out of line, right?
Yep. We're
Yep.
going to sleep over Ariana.
Love you. Go. Talk to you later. Call me when you guys get there.
And we did all our chores.
Okay, go. I love you. Call me when you get there.
Oh,
Look at this, live in the living color. It will never be erased.
we're not on Fish's light.
Okay. Call me later. Okay, look, my other daughter's like, can I say hi? This is Sophia. She's one of my twins. She's 16. Okay, this is Leo and a whole bunch of people on the podcast.
Hi. How
How
many
you
people?
doing?
Leo, she wants to know how many people.
13. It goes up and down. 13, that is everywhere. People are sharing.
So,
Okay,
okay,
You
go
got
ahead.
people saying she's pretty. Look. They're giving you comments. She's pretty. Look
Pretty.
at this.
Pretty.
Goodbye.
Okay, love you guys. Be good. Where's Ava?
I think she's going to Bree's house.
Okay, love you guys. Call me when you get there.
Okay, bye.
Bye. The good,
Bad news
the
first.
negative, and the positive. You ready?
Yeah.
Guys, I'm sorry. I hope you don't mind. Like I told you guys, I don't do stage talk. This is real life.
Be real. Give it to me real.
There's no boundaries between coaching, speaking, and family. To me, it's life. Life is life. So I'm that guy when I hear someone on my training go, "I'm sorry, Frank, I can't turn my camera on because my kids are here." I'm like, "No, turn your camera on. I want to see your kids. I love kids. Let me say hello." This life is life. Family, business, work. Life is. You can't mix business and pleasure. Says who? Says who? Business is supposed to be pleasure, and pleasure is supposed to be business. What are we talking about here? Right? No, everything is everything. So. Here's the good and the bad, the negative and the positive. So here's the negative. Be prepared financially. Manage your taxes, manage your corporations. Make sure you got to learn to structure yourself to bulletproof your future. That's the negative part about your questions about, what success at the top, but nobody warns you about. Nobody tells you enough about. You got to be prepared. And again, luckily for me, I've got the right people around me, even outside of the business. Some of my own family members and cousins who are successful, who have, reminded me, and they say, "Hey, dude, you're not playing down here anymore. You're up here. Make sure you're getting your shit, sorted properly, and you got the right advisors and, accountants and lawyers and things around you. You got to prepare for that. And that stuff costs money. But if you're not prepared for that, you really, really will learn a whole new level of stress that you've never experienced before when all that stuff is potentially under attack." So that's the negative. You want to know the positive? You want to know about something about success at the top that nobody warns you about?
What's that?
It's better than anybody will ever get you to understand. You could see the videos and the nice cars and the homes and people on vacation. You see you're dressing up nice, nobody will ever get you to understand how good it really feels to not have to worry about money. You understand? Here's the extent. Here's the extent of the stress. When you're all set up, you take care of everything properly. Here's the extent. 2025 for me was a frustrating year, Leo. My business was pretty much flat. Like we grew less than 10% in 2025. We had a shitty year, man. I was frustrated, pissed off. I would call Jamie, right? And I'd be like, oh, we ain't growing. We're not dominating the scoreboard anymore. I'm pissed. And you know what Jamie would say to me? He's like, man, it must be hard to be pissed and frustrated at $100,000 a month of overrides. Woo! It ain't ever going. No one's ever going to explain it and get you to understand how good it feels to get there. Folks, get there. It's better than you understand. My last daughter wants to say hi.
No, I don't.
No, you don't want to say hi? Just pop your hand and say hello. Ava doesn't want to. She's like, no, I'm in my tracks. You know, girls are okay. I love you. She doesn't want to say hi. So, folks, you understand? It's better than you can imagine. The blessings that you get to bestow on the ones you love, the ones you care about, the decisions you make. Okay, and I'm not one who brags about things. I'm not one who talks about them. I'm not one that wants that kind of recognition. But I love when we see someone in need, quietly scratch a check, a GoFundMe, boom, anonymously send money. Church needs something, boom. What do you guys need? I'd be like, baby, should we take care of that? Yeah, let's take care of it. Boom, done. We went during Christmas time. We went. There was this beautiful play. I don't know if you guys heard. It's called The Thorn. Right? It's an incredible musical. It's like Cirque du Soleil meets The Passion of Christ. It's called The Thorn. Incredible production. If The Thorn ever comes to your town, you need to go see it. Unbelievable show. It's the story of Christ. And so I take my family. We go there just before Christmas, and it was just an unbelievable show. And of course, during the show, what are they called? Oh my gosh, it's right here. It's right here, and it's just like, oh gosh, one sec. I can't even find it now. But there was right here, boom. These guys were there. Compassion, okay, and you know they were there, and they were looking for sponsors of children. And when I heard, what? That's all it is, and they're giving out these almost little packages where you can almost pick children. And you know, Len and I looked at each other, and it was like, girls, you guys want to sponsor a child each and write letters to each other, and one day you get to meet them, and you know we can fly out and go see them. Do you guys want to take care of a child? They were like, oh my God, Dad, please, we'd love to. Boom, done. Here you go, done. Whatever you guys need, right, guys? I'm not saying it. Please understand, I'm not saying it to brag. I'm saying it because your question, Leo, was these are the kind of things that we don't hear enough about. The world loves to paint successful entrepreneurs as these evil, Austin Powers, Dr. Evil, 1 billion. Like they like to paint people like these idiots and don't get me wrong, there are bad rich people out there. You want to know something? There are incredibly good rich people out there too. And we don't get to hear enough about the impacts they make. You understand me? My mama who's got MS, who's in a wheelchair, right? Anytime she needs something, done. Anytime she called me yesterday. She's in a wheelchair. She's in a nursing home. She's mentally she's all there, but physically her body, she's in a wheelchair. So I got her an electric wheelchair, and she's always zooming around the home. And she learns. My mom is 60. How old is she? 60. She's gonna be 70 this year. And she takes public transit, Leo. She takes public transit. She goes to like this gym that's got classes for folks with disabilities. And she signs herself out of the nursing home. She comes back in her electric wheelchair with public transit. And she's super, super independent, right? So she calls me today. And she's like, And guys, I'm gonna share with you my mom's Italian accent, the way she calls me. And she calls me, I'm like, hi ma, Fra, hi, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good, ma. How are you? What are you doing? Right? And I'm like, ma, I'm working, right? Oh, that's a nice, right? And I'm like, what's happening, ma? And she says to me, literally today, Leo, literally today, she's like, Frank, there's another lady here at the nursing home who goes to the same community center gym that my mom goes to. It's called Variety Village. Goes to Variety Village, right? I'm like, okay. She goes in the pool, she says, with somebody for like 2-3 hours. I was like, okay, ma. I was watching them, and then when they were finished, I said, how does this work? How does this work? Right? And then the person says, call this agency. The agency provides a personal support worker that takes you in the water, and they're certified, and they'll help you get in the water. It's good for my mom. And I didn't even hear the price. Ma, stop. No, but wait, I got to tell you how much first. Maybe it's too much money. No, ma, you want it? How many hours you want? Maybe like 2-3 hours, 2 times a week. Done. Ma, please give them my number. Tell them to call me. Done. Okay. I love you so much. And then she starts crying. I love you. Thank you. Right, all done. Like, no, stop crying. I gotta go. Right. Okay. Guys, you can't put a flipping price on that. I'm telling you, success is 10 times better than you can imagine when you actually get there. When used for good. When used for good. When used for good. And I really want you guys to understand it's one of the things that I say this, Leo, if I knew it was going to be as good as it is, I would have worked 10 times harder. And that's why I'm still in the game, because we ain't done yet. We ain't done yet.
Wow. Woo. Well, I'll leave it here after this. This is your last question, and then you get a shameless plug, so you can say whatever, advertise yourself as a shameless plug right after this question, and then I'll sign us off. So, as a founding executive and legacy owner, when your career is looked at years from now, what matters more, the numbers you hit or the leaders you built, and why? We know the answer to this, but I figure I ask. It could be two-folded too. I see it. Go ahead.
I'm going to share something with you, very personal to me. And here's what matters. Number one, there's a couple things that matter. Here's number one. My dad unexpectedly passed away 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. And my dad and I, when I was, in my 20s, especially, we had a father-son relationship like this, always at each other. Okay. But it wasn't until I got older and I matured and I started a family that my dad and our relationship got like this. It was incredible. And then he passed away unexpectedly 3.5 years ago. When this thing is done, Leo, the very first thing for me, when my dad passed away, and I remember at the funeral, and just when they were ready to take the casket away, and this is like the most dominant memory I have of the funeral more than anything else, was that I was like praying over my dad in the casket, and I was crying, and all I kept saying was, Dad, I hope I made you proud. I hope I made you proud. So all I kept saying, I kept repeating myself. Yolanda had to come grab me because she heard me and saw me. And she thought something snapped in my brain, because all I kept saying was, Dad, I hope I made you proud. Dad, I hope I made you proud. I hope I made you proud. That's all I kept saying. Leo, when this thing is done, number one, I hope to God, my kids, my wife, my family knows how proud I am of them. When this thing is done, I want to make sure my kids don't ever have to feel the way I felt, wondering what my dad thought about me. I hope to God, when this thing is all done, that my kids don't have to go through that. Number one, my family's everything. And I want to make sure that they're living a great life and they know how much I love them and I'm proud of them. And I'll move heaven and earth for them no matter what. Number one. Okay. Number two, I'll never forget, in my last company, Mauro and I were at a convention. And one of my mentors that I have a tremendous amount of respect for, even today, his name is Hector Lamarck. Okay. Mauro and I are at a convention. We're sitting down at a table, and we had no idea, but Hector Lamarck walked right behind Mauro and I. And he put his hand kind of like on my shoulder and then kind of on Mauro's shoulder as he's walking by. And he's like, sorry, guys, just trying to squeeze through. And both Mauro and I went like this. We're like, oh my God, that's Hector. And Hector was trying to get through the tables to get to the front because he was being called up as the next speaker. And then as he was staying there waiting to be brought up, the room, everybody in the room, you could hear the buzz. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's Hector. Hector's up next. You could literally feel the energy change because this guy had an impact on all of us. There was like 2,000 people in the room, and everybody was like, oh my God, Hector's going up. Hector's going up. I can't believe it, right? And everybody was freaking out. And Leo, I've got this vision that came to me, and I still talk about it to this day. I got this vision that came to me that I'm sitting all the way up in the nosebleeds in this giant stadium. Think of whatever, the Mercedes-Benz Arena. Think of, whatever, okay? And I'm all the way up in the nosebleeds. And there's 50,000 people. Okay, I can picture the stage. I can picture the band, picture all the lights and all the, the videos and all this stuff. And I'm watching myself stand there on the side of the stage. And I'm wearing a red jacket. This is how this visual came to me years and years and years ago. I'm wearing a red jacket. I don't know why red, but it's red. And I'm standing there with my notebook, like Hector was, under my arm, waiting to be called out on stage, to come out on stage. And I'm watching as everybody in the crowd is going, there he is. Frank's up next. Frank's coming up next, guy. This is the guy I was telling you about that changed my life. This is the guy that I follow. Listen. This is the guy, he's coming up. And I'm watching this going, they're all reacting to me like I did with Hector. And at the end of the day, Leo, folks, this is my dream. This was the vision I had, okay? When this is all said and done, I want to go out with that kind of reaction. The way I was with Hector, the way everybody else was, that people are going to say, that's the guy that changed my life. That's the guy that helped me win and win big. That's the guy that helped me deliver for my family. That's the guy that helped me restore my marriage. That's the guy who helped me with my children. That's the guy who got me out of the gutter and I was going down the run. This is the guy who helped change my life. When it's all said and done, bro, that's all that matters. That's why I want to go out.
Woo! Feels all right. Give us your shameless plug, boss. Shameless plug.
I got no shameless plug. I got none, bro. I'm going to tell everybody in this call, I am just a regular jackass. But the difference between me and you guys is that I consistently work on me. I consistently put pressure on myself to deliver for my family, for my team. My why is clear. My vision is clear. And if I could do it, and trust me, guys, if you knew who I was today, and not that long ago, okay? If you knew who I was, you'd realize that if I could do it, not only could you do it, you could probably do it 10 times faster than I did. And I want everybody to know that. There's no shameless plug, Leo. I promise you, Leo. I promise you, bro, if you make just these subtle changes, you tap into it before, you really, really fall in love with your why. You find that why, okay? And you put the damn work in, and you have faith and belief that it will work out for you, it is going to work out for you. I guarantee you. I guarantee you.
Ooh, thank you for 90 minutes of fire. And I do, since this is being recorded, you said you will be back, right? Even though Coach never said that Jordan is number one.
I think in his heart of hearts, he knows. He knows. He's looking for things to get fired up about. He wants to push buttons, right? So, but no, listen, Leo, I'm here for you, bro. I'm here for you anytime you want. Like, you guys ever want to get more into mindset and stuff, you ever want to get into technical stuff, sales skills, I'm open to serve any way I can, right? We're a team. We're a team where we come from at Experior. I love Experior. I love our team. I love what we're doing. And I'm here to serve because I believe there's no other way to live, man. There's no other way to be. There's nothing that feels better than this.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Frank DeLeo. Guys, it's been a great episode. I hope you guys got a lot out of this. There's a lot of note-taking. If not, always go back. You can stay in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is, once again, the $1 million man right here, Mr. Frank DeLeo. I want to thank you for being here with us. I want to thank everybody who was on. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you stayed here with me. So it's been an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to serve you guys today. Be blessed. Woo-hoo.